Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about the real reason why it's likely taking so long for the next update here in Grand Theft Auto Online to arrive. That's one of the most frequent questions I get on a daily basis is, Mr. Boss, when is the next DLC coming out? What is Rockstar up to? And that second thing is kind of hard to predict because unlike a lot of video game companies, developers, and publishers, Rockstar never really lays out a roadmap for what they're doing. And so we don't really know what to expect, and we certainly don't know when to expect it. And many fans find that frustrating, but others understand it and know that's just how Rockstar works. But in times like these, it kind of leaves us in the dark, where we're basically done with all the drip feed from the previous update, the Diamond Casino heist, and now we're just sort of in this limbo period of, well, what is Rockstar going to do next before the next update arrives, and ultimately when that will be. And obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, and we're going to be talking about that to a degree. And this conversation started to come up a lot on the GTA forum site, where we actually heard from insider TezFunds2 on why Rockstar might not have the update come out yet, why we didn't get a spring update, which a lot of people were speculating that would be the case, and why we maybe haven't heard from Rockstar now. So this is what insider TezFunds2 had to say. He was responding to someone that said no new cutscenes with Jerrold Missions, ? And he said cutscenes would limit such missions to only arrive with new updates. Not to mention the current situation makes it harder to set up motion capture for new updates. So what he's sort of talking about here is missions like the Lamar Lowrider stuff. Those have pre-built cutscenes that Rockstar had to record with motion capture. The new Jerrold missions, I don't know if you guys have done any of them, and you're certainly seeing that gameplay in the background right now. There's no cutscenes at all. In fact, you don't even hear Jerrold's voice. So whoever the voice actor is for Jerrold didn't even have to record any new lines of dialogue. Everything is just done via text message, which is something that Rockstar can very easily program into the game. Now, there certainly are some new things with Jerrold's last play contact missions, like some interiors you might find and some weapons and props that are utilized for the weapons. But overall, everything is pretty status quo, standard for what we see in normal contact missions. And he said that due to the current situation, it's probably harder for Rockstar to set up motion capture for new updates. Now, we don't talk about politics or science or medicine here on the channel. We just simply talk about video games. So it's kind of hard for me to give an opinion on how one person is doing via another person, how certain businesses are affected versus how some businesses might not be affected. And to a degree, I don't want to speculate, but I can almost imagine that a service in an industry like motion capture would probably not be considered an essential business or an essential service, and it's very likely that it doesn't follow the social distancing guidelines that everyone has been accustomed to over the last couple of weeks. I mean, I can only imagine with motion capture, you're interacting with other people. You might not be able to keep 6 feet apart, obviously, and there's other conditions that play a factor here. So it makes sense why not only the new Jerrold missions don't have that, but also why Rockstar wouldn't be able to do that with the Jerrold missions. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, Mr. Boss, what does having no motion capture in the Jerrold missions have to do with the next update? Well, insider TezFunds2 ended up saying this. He responded to someone that said, there's something I think we've overlooked. Even the smallest of recording studios are most likely shut down entirely. So I'm guessing something like the intro cutscene to the Terabyte, audio while the camera simply pans around the room, is out of the question. But then if there's more to the next update other than simply missions and has cutscenes on a scale of either update last year, it's out of the question entirely. And insider TezFunds2 said, yep, that's an issue. One way is to finish the code, props, and vehicle design, etc., and leave out the cutscenes to be finished later on, like in mid-May or June. Okay, so let's talk about that all together, and let's just discuss the last two updates. The Diamond Casino and Resort DLC and the Diamond Casino Heist DLC. In that update, you not only had very well done cinematics, you had cutscenes that involved brand new characters, so you would have to do voiceover work, audio work, you would have to do motion capture stuff. There's a lot of things that Rockstar put into the last two updates outside of just building a new casino, adding heist missions, and introducing a lot of new vehicles, clothing, and stuff like that. And so what he's saying is pretty much doing anything like that is probably out of the question right now. And what Insider Test Funds 2 said is that what Rockstar can probably do is that they can work on the coding, the props, and the vehicle design, maybe things that can be done while working from home. And then once the situation seems to settle down a little bit, or if over the next couple of weeks we're able to cut back on social distancing and businesses open, that's when Rockstar might be able to finish the things they need to do to complete the update, which would be by mid-May or June. And in case you guys are wondering, the last Lucky Wheel vehicle would lead us up until June 11th. So if you wanted to take a guess, anytime after June 11th, unless Rockstar decides to add more vehicles, would likely be a good date in which you could guess the new update would end up coming out. And this is something we've kind of talked about in the past, but I completely forgot and overlooked that Rockstar aren't doing DLCs that they did back in like 2013, 2014, and even 2015, where back then it was just new cars, clothing, weapons, and stuff like that. And there might have been new contact missions, but nothing that required the complexity that we see today, with new cutscenes and cinematics and voiceovers and brand new characters being introduced. So with that in mind, it totally makes sense and now is totally understandable why it might be a little longer before we get the first update here in 2020. And over the last couple of weeks and videos, we've talked about this idea that the world's current situation is having an effect on a lot of people, and Rockstar might even be in that same boat. I mean, Rockstar announced a couple of weeks ago their initiative that is amazing, by the way, and is still going on, that, you know, every shark card and gold bar that they sell in Grand Theft Auto Online, they're going to be donating 5% of that to help, you know, obviously what's going on in the world. But they also announced that pretty much every single one of their employees is going to be working from home. And that might limit their ability to do things in the online modes that we love, particularly GTA Online. So Rockstar has made that abundantly clear and transparent. In fact, they made that announcement over a month ago, sort of in like the third week of March. So with all of that in mind, let me know in the comments down below, number one, when you think the first update for 2020 in GTA Online is going to arrive, and what do you think the theme is going to be? And do you think it'll ultimately be affected by what's currently going on in the world? Do you think that if Rockstar did have cutscenes or new characters planned, that they might just leave them out or save them for a future update? It would surprise me if Rockstar wanted to sacrifice the quality of an update just to get it out the door at a specific time. But honestly, who really knows? Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, they're so closed doors with things that it's tough to predict what's really going on here. And last but not least today, sort of a follow-up on the Jerrold Missions that Rockstar introduced the other day. Again, we get some inside information from Tez Funds 2, who was responding to someone on the GTA forum site that said they're fun, but darn, Rockstar really need to bump up these ones, referring to the payouts. That plan that they had to unlock them at rank 1, but force them to pay out like rank 85. That was needed badly. People fly through the first 100 ranks nowadays anyways, given sheer volume of RP, certain tasks pay out. And the whole point of missions is that the higher rank you are, the more progressively difficult they get. End product is a nasty expletive on solo and not using a Kuruma. And he said, I'm not sure about that guide, but the max payout is 36,120 for solo play. And if you take 16 minutes to complete it, and that amount of time, you can gain roughly 120,000 from VIP work, thanks to the double money bonus going on right now. And also, the part about forcing the game to pay out more by adjusting the rank required during the mission to 85, and reverting back to 1 once you were done will only increase the payout by 5 to 7,000. I don't see it as a big improvement. And honestly, that's one of the things I'm disappointed the most in these Jerrold missions is the payouts are just terrible. It was something I explained in my video I did a couple of days ago when these first came out. Like, they're fun, they're fresh, they're new, they're exciting for now. They utilize a lot of cool interiors and props, but like, if it's taking you 16 minutes and you're getting $30,000, and that doesn't even include like the 1 or 2 minutes that you take to load into the lobby and then the 1 or 2 minutes it takes to load back into the, regular Grand Theft Auto Online session. So it just isn't worth it. And that's not to say that everything in GTA Online is about money, but if you are going to dedicate your time to it, I feel like you should be monetarily rewarded. And it's just not good, in my opinion. And sort of tying both of these things together, Rockstar having to work from home and the new Jerrold missions, they were actually supposed to do a live stream earlier yesterday broadcasting the new Jerrold Last Play missions, and the live stream only lasted about 30 minutes long. And that's because Rockstar was trying to work from home, and I guess the person that was leading or working the live stream, their connection wasn't so great, or there was like this mass outage, and they had to end up canceling the stream. So if Rockstar is having trouble putting live streams together, and trust me, I've been there before, I've done that, there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you're dealing with live internet and everything, but it just kind of emphasizes the whole point altogether, and that working from home is tough. And there's a lot of challenges right now, and it might mean we have to be extra patient when it comes to getting the next Grand Theft Auto Online update. But like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of everything we discussed in this video today and more. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.